The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for The Trader's Edge.
11 seconds. You've got 10 seconds. The countdown going on right now. Morrow up to Schultz. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes. And folks, thanks so much for joining me. The games are coming to an end. The Olympic Games coming to an end, folks. And I absolutely do treasure your presence here today. My outcome is always to help you to become a better money master, folks. But mostly, it's really to be able to provide you with the tools that will help you so that you can lead an inspired life. It's what I like to do. That's what you should like to do. We should all simply lead an inspired life, folks. Now, let's go take a look at one of those tools, and it's really kind of encompassing with regard to the Olympics. It's a tool that I call Facing the Enemy Within. Now, you know, I didn't get a chance to see a lot of the Olympics, mostly, you know, after the market would close or what have you, so maybe from about 5 o'clock on. And then, of course, I would fall asleep in the evening, so I didn't really get to see a lot of what was going on. But, you know, and I'm glad that they taped everything live. Yesterday, I was able to catch Clarissa Shields. So, you know, if there's two stories out there, at least two that I saw, and there's all kinds of stories all over the place, but the two stories that really resonated with me, and the reason why I wanted to talk about Facing the Enemy Within is because these are two people that, and there's plenty out there, but these are at least two people on my mind that I was actually able to watch, you know, see some of the background on them. That being Oscar Pistorius and Clarissa Shields. Now, Clarissa Shields, if you don't know who she is, she's the U.S. women's boxer. I guess this was the first time in the Olympics that they had women's boxing. 17-year-old from Flint, Michigan. Now, the story is way beyond that. When you take a look at what she actually came from, her hardships on life, folks, you wouldn't wish upon anyone. You know, her father spending most of his time in prison, in jail, you know, lack of support, being in an environment, Flint, Michigan, you know, being hard hit by all the shutdowns in the auto industry, and just everything that she has had to, and she's only 17, folks. I mean, that is the beauty of it. So I was really fortunate, although I'm sure it was tape delayed, I was really fortunate last night to, you know, when I got back, to be able to flip on the television and watch Clarissa Shields, folks. That was just simply amazing. If you don't know anything about her, I would recommend just going and looking it up. But when we talk about the enemy within, folks, the enemy, folks, is none other than what? Fear, right? False evidence appearing real. We're not born with fear, but nor are we born with courage. It's really our choice. So let me ask you a question. Think about it like this. Have you ever heard of a baby? Now, I'm talking a baby. I'm not talking a child. Have you ever heard of a baby that's afraid of the dark? The answer is no. It would be impossible. Why do I say it's impossible? For 9 months, that's all that baby knew. I assume that that's all that baby knew while it was in the womb, you know, 9 months or whatever version of 9 months, portion of 9 months. So the baby is more likely afraid of light, not afraid of fear. So what is it? Fears are taught to us, folks. That's why I really love Oscar Pistorius, Clarissa Shields, all of the people, you know, yourself, myself. That's what we all battle with, each of us. They have to battle with those fears on a daily basis. I have to battle with those fears on a daily basis, and it's so important to make sure that you've got the cannons pointing out, not pointing inward. You know, so your fears are on the outside. Your fears typically are something that you've learned that have been taught. In the baby's case, the baby might have became afraid of, you know, baby might become afraid of the dark. Why? Because maybe us as adults or parents, we thought, you know, hey, you got to sleep with the nightlight on. Maybe it was easy for us to be able to get into their room if they were crying, whining, or what have you, when they were having trouble sleeping, you know. But what we did was we taught them to be afraid of the dark. There is no reason to be afraid of the dark. Yeah, you need to be afraid of some dark places, okay, places where Clarissa Shields, quite frankly, grew up in Flint, Michigan. But, you know, so a lot of these fears, folks, that each of us have, we weren't born with them. They were just something that we absolutely learned. And you can choose to focus on fear, or you can choose to focus on courage out there. All you've got to do, folks, is And, think about it like this. Even the most basic fears out there, what they can do, and here's the problem if you don't face them, if you don't destroy them, is they will destroy our ambitions, they will destroy our fortunes, they'll destroy our relationships, they will destroy everything if left unchecked in our life. Fear, folks, that's the enemy within. So decide to battle your fear. Build that courage. Remember, we're not born with courage. What you want to be able to do is build that courage. You want to be able to walk through those fires out there. You want to do everything you can so that you can keep your dreams and your pursuit of what it is that you most want in life. And that's the beautiful story of Oscar Pistorius, Clarissa Shields, the U.S. women's soccer team, volleyball team, you name it. But mostly, it's all about you, folks. Remember this, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. And that's what it is here at TFNN. Today is going to be a great lineup. After this show, we got Tom and I doing the Nadex trading hour. Then we go up to Basil Chapman from 11 to 12. Nico DeHaan. Today is all about health and wealth, folks. Nico from 12 to 1, Daryl Martin 1 to 2, David White 2 to 3, Ken Shreve 3 to 4, and Tom from 4 to 6. So let's go start taking a look at these markets. Nothing to fear out there. In fact, if I were I don't know, I'm sure that I've seen those T-shirts out there. What do they talk about? What's the term for fear? No fear, something like that. These two folks, Clarissa and Oscar, ought to be the role model for those T-shirts. So let's go take a look at the ES Mini. Right now, trading off about 6 points. It's trading out at 1394 off of the close from yesterday. The Dow is trading off about 46 points right now. The NASDAQ trading off about 8 points. Let's see, the Russell 2000 down about 3.5. King dollar on the move, up 12 ticks. We're certainly going to take a look at that. Gold really pretty flat, trading out at 16.18, off a couple bucks. Silver down 33 cents, out at 27.76. If we take a quick spin around the world, you've got basically everything in the red today. So what does that mean? Well, when I say everything in the red, if we take a look at Asia, you had the Nikkei off 87 points. You had the Shanghai off 5 points. You had the Hang Seng off 133 points right now. The FTSE's off 12, and the DAX is off 50 points. Now, what's it all about? Actually, why don't I switch over to the Euro chart here? Let's go take a look at the Euro, because when we take a look at the Euro, one of the things that we were taking a look at yesterday were the candle patterns out there. Candle patterns absolutely are leading indicators. They're certainly telling you about the enemy within and what's going on inside the chart between the bulls and the bears out there. So as we switch over to the Euro, we were taking a look at the Euro, which had on the daily chart had pulled back to the 0.382 level. I'll pop that up here in a minute. And as it was making that 0.382 retracement, what I did was just simply went ahead and drilled down into a 10-minute chart. Now, when I drilled down into a 10-minute chart, as the euro was making its low, we were taking a look at the time frame of exactly 9:30. And at 9:30, it made a hammer candle. Now, as I told you, even though that was my hammer candle, the results of the following bar were not my favorite results. And that was not a hammer candle that, for me, set up a area of success. And what I said was, if you get a close below that price point at 9:30, which was 1.22850, what that said, if you were long the euro, you were wrong in the trade, because when you get the bulls to just simply give up like that, you're going to trade lower. What happened? You closed below it. You traded lower into the 1150 time frame. Yes, it made it back up. It tried to do a retracement. Where are we trading now? We're trading below it. So very important, you want to be able to learn your candle patterns out there. They will give you a absolute ton of information with regard to what is going on between the bulls and the bears out here. Right now, you do have a little bearish, and so you've got a little bit of support down here that came in at about the 3:40 a.m. Time frame. That level of support here has held. That's where you saw this little no, that wasn't it. It's right here. My apologies. Support came in at 6 o'clock this morning, where you did see a bullish engulfing out there. If we go take a look at the daily chart, though, let's go take a look at the daily chart. The euro now on the daily is trading below the 0.382 level. What does that set up as its next target, folks? Just a normal retracement. That normal retracement on the euro will take it back into that 0.618 area. That 0.618 area, 1.21942. What does that set up? That sets up more strength in the King dollar. Now, the U.S. dollar index has been moving up higher. Let's switch over to the U.S. dollar index. Moving up higher after it made that 3 drive to a bottom pattern that completed here on August the 7th. And right now, what the U.S. dollar index has done, it's done its first retracement. So it has retraced back up to that 0.382 level. And where I'm talking about going, folks, I'm talking about from the high of July 24th out at 84.25 all the way down to the low of August 7th at 82.07. What happens when you make that 0.382 retracement? Yep, you usually let a few people off of the elevator, off of the escalator. And so that's what you see. You see a little bit of a pullback. 82.90 was that 0.382. What did the U.S. dollar index get up to here this morning? I don't know how it works, folks. I had these lines drawn in here 2 days ago. Got up to 82.90. So it gets up to 82.90, trading out at 82.79, doing exactly what it should be doing as well. We will see the U.S. dollar index retrace back up to the 83.41. However, what is important to note is even with the strength in the U.S. dollar, the markets have been just simply strong. Strong on price, weak on volume. Kind of interesting out there. So we got a little bit of divergence out here, you know, because you would have expected, I certainly would have expected to have seen a stronger pullback in the markets. When you don't do that, what does that tell you? It says you've got divergence. You know, which one do you go with? Well, if you're long, make sure that you just simply have some tight stops in place. Why? Because I believe, you know, Basil and I were doing a show here. We did the Money Master show on Monday. In fact, if I switch over to that chart, I believe, and I know Basil will be coming up here at 11 to 12, so he'll update you because he is the king of the Chapman wave, and we did get a D leg here in which was 2 trading sessions ago, and you get a higher close. I suppose that means leg E up in the Chapman wave. 877-927-6648. Let's go take a look at the ES Mini out here, see what she is doing. We did have a lunar phase come in here early this morning at about 5:52. That was apogee. That is when the moon during this cycle here is the furthest from us, and so you really want to be paying attention to apogee, perigee, the new moon and the full moon, folks, because they have been doing really well. The new moon and full moons to the day, perigee and apogee, sometimes to the day, they have more power when they also are right in line with new and full moons, but they simply also, you know, the lunar strategy has been really spot on. Now, if we do take a look at the ES Mini here, the ES Mini right now just kind of consolidating, waiting for the traders here to wake up in the U.S. Really been consolidating ever since about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock last night. So it really isn't doing much, even though it's down about 5 points here. Have we seen any kind of support? Let's go over to look at the larger picture. Let's go take a look at the daily chart out here on the futures. If we take a look at the ES Mini, what the ES Mini is doing right now, it's still trading inside that May 1st swing point. But it really may not be May 1st. If we take a look, the ES Mini, so the S&P futures has not been able to get up into the April, or the March, in this case here would be March 27th, is its swing point high. I believe we're taking a look at April 2nd in the actual S&P cash out there. So let's take a look at the April 2nd area. That swing point on the ES Mini, the low happens to be 13.99. You're trading out at 13.94.75 out there. If we put this on a, well, let's go take a look at the Dow, see what the Dow is doing. So right now, also still trading inside that May 1st swing point until the, in my opinion, until the ES Mini breaks that May 1st low, 13.91.25. You might see an update today. 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. We'll be right back.
Kate Stalter's exciting newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, has just launched, and now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial. Every Wednesday afternoon, Kate sends out her weekly newsletter to her subscribers where she focuses on small cap stocks with market caps under $2 billion, as well as low-priced equities with share prices ranging from $5 to $12. Kate tracks a variety of stocks with a combination of strong technical support and solid fundamentals. Many of the stocks featured will be recent IPOs. These newer issues are often some of the biggest price gainers in the market and provide an excellent opportunity for substantial gains if timed correctly. You can catch Kate Stalter live on TigerTV with her small cap roundup every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and visit TFNN.com right now to get your 2-week free trial to her brand new newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, while locking in the low introductory monthly rate of only $37.50 per month, almost a 50% discount. Act now.
With the launch of TigerTV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With TigerTV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kate Stalter, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Carol Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out TigerTV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
Millionaires are made every day. The fact is, living your dreams is possible. Someone, somewhere is going to get rich. My recommendation is, let that be you. Each day, someone is making the decision to better themselves and creating a plan to fulfill their financial dreams. Let that be you. The key to turning dreams into reality is to take massive action. Let that be you. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Master Show with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN, and I can help you with your journey to great wealth. I'll show you how to create the ultimate financial edge, a set of tools, insights, and strategies that are part of my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability. You'll have direct access to me by phone, email, and my private library of trading and investing secrets for 30 days with an unconditional money-back guarantee. I'll take your trading to the next level. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage at TFNN.com and turn your dreams into reality. Mastering Probability, folks. Let that be you.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Let's go take a look at some of the stocks here. Pumping. I don't want to use the word pumping and dumping. No, popping and dropping here in the pre-market. Popping to the upside. Fusion IO Inc. FIO is the ticker symbol. Seemed to be the leader dollar-wise in the pre-market. They closed out last night at 21.02. Last trade just firing off at 26.10. They reported last night a net loss of $2.4 million versus $5.8 million in the prior year. Their Q4 revenue, $106 million. That was up 49% from 71.7, trading out at 26.10. If we just simply pop up the chart and go back and take a look at the last volume day out there, that last volume day was a volume down day. That is April 27th. The low of that is 26.01, so it's trading right inside that area out there. So Fusion IO popping to the upside and going to be working off some of that supply line out here. Fusion IO is a recent IPO, had traded as high as $42, $41.74, so it has taken quite a haircut out there. You've got on the downside now, you've got Ubiquity Networks, UBNT. Let's see here. They report some earnings. They are now trading. They're really taking a buzz cut. They're trading out at $9. closed out at 15.01. Let's see what we can find out on their earnings revenue side. Revenue of $94.8 million versus $67.5. They had profit of 30 cents a share versus 15 cents a share. So doing nicely here. They must have quite a poor outlook, or they just simply really missed the estimates out here. And they have also announced a $100 million stock repurchase program. So how about that? And trading down at 892. So let's go take a look at that chart again. Ticker symbol UBNT out there. Ubiquity Networks, UBNT. Truly getting a haircut. So traded out at 15.01. They did have volume to the downside, and in fact they've had some institutional selling inside this stock here. That first one was volume off the high. So there was your first indication to be out of this stock. And that came on May 2nd, folks. It makes a high with 1.2 million shares. Next trading session, volume off the top, 4.6 million. That was when it closed at 28.90, trading at 15.01 right now. Don't you think those folks at 28.90 wish they knew about volume off the top and volume bars out there? Oh, let me see. Is this actually? Let me refresh this screen here. See if we go back further than this. Apparently not. So this also looks like an IPO from October 14, 2011, truly getting hammered. Now, folks, that opened up at about $15.50, had made a high that day of $19 even. Works its way up to the high that we talked about, and then boom, kaboom, volume off the top. This thing now traded out at $9. The low so far on this has been $10.88. So it looks like this is going to have another volume day to the downside. You've got Kinder Morgan. KMI is the ticker symbol. 35.81 is what they closed at. They're trading at 34.79, so not too bad out there. Let's go take a look at that stock chart as well. KMI, they closed yesterday 35.81. Not too much volume yesterday, but what does it have? Looks like it's got volume down here at the low, or near the lows. June 6th has got a volume bar of 46 million shares. This thing did pop up here recently, so it's got some high volume bars here, higher than normal, I would say. 3 in a row, July 23rd, 20th, and July 19th. Those areas being in the 34 buck, that's where it's trading right now. So it should find resistance here. It should find support, I say, at 34.46. That's on Kinder Morgan. Let's take a quick look around the world. Let's see what's going on over in Germany right now. The DAX had completed a 0.786 Gartley sell pattern. Really trading, down 48 points right now. Not a big deal. The big deal is this 0.786 Gartley pattern, folks, is in play and is holding. Of course, what you'd like to see is, well, as long as it closes below the April 4th high out there. That April 4th high is 69.44. You're trading at 69.17 right now. And the reason why I use that April 4th area, folks, is because that's where you have a nice downdraft inside the DAX. All the DAX really did was it went back and it closed the gap from April 3rd. The low of that was 69.81 and a little change. And what it did yesterday was it got up to 69.89 and some change. So how about that? It closed the gap. 69.81.21 was the low. Did it actually close it? 69.89.15. How about that? It's still got a little bit of a gap out there. Very, as Schultz would say, very, very interesting. Of course, he said it much better than I do. Folks, 877-927-6648. Futures right now, you've got the Dow futures off about 50 points. ES-Mini down 5. We'll be right back.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open, even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Would you like a personal update from Tom O'Brien as to what equities he's trading and what his daily trading plan is before the market opens each morning? Every market day, Tom O'Brien sends out his daily newsletter, Market Insights, to hundreds of subscribers that rely on his daily recommendations when it comes to navigating these highly volatile markets we're dealing with. As recently as May 21st, Market Insights subscribers closed out all 5 open positions for a combined profit of over 68% in one day. Profits ranged from 6.5% to over 24%, and all of these trades had been initiated within the previous 30 days. Now is the perfect time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's explosive trading newsletter, Market Insights, an $85 value. Tom breaks down the market each morning with his market take and provides trade recommendations including precise stops and target profit zones, leaving nothing left to guessing. Log on to TFNN.com today and sign up for your 2-week free trial. Make sure you're a subscriber the next time Market Insights subscribers close out multiple winning trades. Take action and sign up for your free trial today. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're off to the races. You got the Dow down 54 points, S&P's off 6. Composite down 10, small caps off 3. Let's see, pretty much a photo finish right here. Everybody off about 0.4%. The composite down 0.3%. You got Microsoft trading up 6 ticks, Intel off 10, Google down $3 and change, Cisco off 28 cents, Apple down $1 and change here. Popping to the upside, Fusion IO, as we were taking a look at, that's trading up 26%. Bally Technologies, BYI, they're trading up 281. JC Penney traded up 9% right now, up a couple of bucks. I believe their earnings big losses out there. We'll take a look at J.C. Penney. Magna International, MGA, trading up 3% here. You've got Salesforce Innovation, CRM, up $1.63. Janus Cap Growth Fund up $1.32. That's up 17%. Care Fusion, so all the fusions trading up this morning. CFN, they're up 5% here. Broadcom up 2%. Nordstrom's JWN trading up 2% as well. to the downside. As we mentioned, Ubiquity Networks, they're down 40%. Whew. What a haircut. We'll see if volume is coming out of that tire. Monster Beverage having another down day, down 8%. Big Lots, BIG, the ticker symbol, they're off 5% here. Down Roundy's Inc. Well, I'm going to go take a look at that. Somebody, I had a friend of mine said a friend of a friend had a stock pick, or had a tip from somebody, said, go buy Roundy's. And I said, oh, my God, that looked like a big dumper to me. So RNDY, that is the ticker symbol on that. That is off 17% this morning. Apache, APA, ticker symbol, they're down 2%. Spreadtrum Communications, SPRD, is off 8%. So let's go take a look at the markets. Kinder Morgan, as we saw earlier, that is running right here into this little support area. If Kinder Morgan does break the 34.46 level, what you can expect it to do is go all the way back down to the low on June 26th in that area in the $30 price range. Let's go take a look at the volume in Ubiquity. Ooh, big volume here to the downside already. Only open for 6 minutes, and volume to the downside here is 751,000 shares. So this is going to have another big down day. Well, already big down day when you consider that it is down 41%. So, could it get much worse? Well, the answer is, yeah, absolutely it can get much worse. Let's go take a look at Monster Beverage, see what that is doing. That has been getting hit over the last couple days, MNST. So now you've got another gap down. This is in that volume yesterday, and that volume was going against, and it did close below. So close below the swing point of August 10th that had 762,000 shares. Yesterday you do it with 11 million, 7 points. Wait a minute here. Hold on. 3.5 million shares. Okay, so it's 3.5 million shares was the swing point of July 23rd, and yesterday you come through with 11.4 million shares. This is on its way down to $47. $47 is going to take you all the way back to where? November 25th. 2011. Folks, it's like one by one as we watch some of these high-flying stocks out there get picked off. One by one, they are going through the markdown phase. This is not distribution. Distribution, what I call distribution, folks, is when you have when you're just simply staying at the highs on light volume. That's what I call distribution. Of course, I call that because that's how I was taught. I was taught that from Tom. When you're moving down like this, folks, this is just simply sheer markdown. Just kind of think of it like a retail store out there. And in this case here, Monster Beverage truly being marked down. Let's go take a look at it. Let's kind of go back and forth between popping and dropping. So you got Open Text Corp. What does Open Text Corp do? OTEX. That's actually, they're probably a text service, but let's go see what they actually do out here. They are popping to the upside. Number 2, dollar-wise. As we take a look at Open Text, they are a develop, market, sell, license, support, enterprise content management solutions, primarily in North America and Europe. Text Corp here, let's see, they had Q4 earnings per share, $1.17 versus $1.05. The revenues rose 7%, not anything great out there. But let's go see what the actual chart itself is telling us and what it is doing. OTEX is the ticker symbol, OTEX. And so trading up into its most recent swing point here. Let's see. Oof, boy, this is not a great-looking stock chart. Now, this thing here had a sign of strength. So that sign of strength in this came in February of 2012 when it moved up with 3.4 million shares here. But this thing here has been steadily moving downward. Look at this thing is really in a consolidation. Okay, so this thing has some pretty strong support. Last time it traded down, traded right into the high volume low. Looks like it actually tested it and tested on light volume. So the low here that it was testing, folks, was August 11th, 2011, 4.7 million shares. It has been down there testing that, banging away on like 634,000 shares. As recently as August 1st on 674,000 shares as well. And now it is making an A to B equals CD up, trying to take on this area. This thing's got a lot of resistance here. So I don't expect to see this thing get much higher than where it is right now at $53 and change. Let's go take a look at the Big Lots. Big Lots, BIG is a ticker symbol. They're trading off about 6% here this morning. Big Lots, a retailer out there. They are down about $2.40. And let's see what kind of volume this has. Oh, so this is going against its, look at this. Look at this. Let me refresh the screen, make sure I got everything out here. So this thing really had a second gap down. We talk about taking a haircut. So on April 23rd, folks, this stock closes at $45.71. Now, prior to that, so if I got rid of this side of the chart here, and if you are watching us on Tiger TV, we absolutely do appreciate you doing that. And if not, if you're listening on the radio, or maybe you're listening on your device because you went to tfnn.mobi, you can catch the archive of this show on Channel 9. So now what I did, I just simply moved the right-hand side of the chart over so that we can take a look at Big Lots. So if you're taking a look at the Big Lots chart here, one of the things that you see, if you go back to December 2nd, 2011, you see a gap away with volume, 6.1 million shares. What does it do? It rises, it moves up. You see a small sign of strength in here on February 2nd. That was one I mentioned with 3.4 million. So that's 3.4 million on the way up, and on the way down, you had 6.1. When you make a high out here, you do it in March 27th. It gets up to a high of 47.22. Let me see. It doesn't look like a... and then on the following session here, it moves down, and it moves down with about the same volume as you had the day before. It's really that next day that was your clue to go ahead and exit, or make sure you had a very tight stop in on Big Lots. That was March 29th because it gaps down with 4.5 million. That 4.5 million was going against the 3.4 million gap up there. That was telling you this thing still had room to the downside. So it gave you the opportunity to get out. This thing here, when it moved off of the high March 28th, when it formed that gap, the bottom of the gap was 45.59 with 1.4 million shares. When that area got tested, it was tested with 1 million shares. 1 million going against 1.4. It was, and then, boom, it let go. Now, what do we have on Big Lots here? Moving back, it's going to come back and test that April 24th area. Looks like once again. It's got some support up here at about the May 23rd high at 36.78, where it had a fairly large bullish engulfing candle out there. Let's go take a look at what else do we have. Bally Technologies. Let me see the big percentage-wise that is up. Let's go take a look at Cornerstone. CSOD is the ticker symbol. Let's go see what Cornerstone is doing. When I say percentage-wise, that is up 16%. So having a nice day, up at 28.24. And this thing, when it falls out of bed. So if you look at this chart, folks, and you said, okay, at some point in time, this thing might, I don't know what they do or what have you, but when you take a look at a chart like this, what does this tell you? Where could this thing fall to? It has one big, major, high-volume day that happens to be June 22nd. So that says, hey, you can find support here at $22.05. It's trading at $28 right now. Having a very nice day out there. This thing looks like it is a IPO as well. Let me just refresh my screen here. It is. And so, if you're in this thing here, does it have an A to B equals CD up? Let's go take a look at that. Let's put this here on the weekly, since we are close to the end of the week out here, and see what this stock here has done. So if we take a look at just an A, B, C, D, that this might be completing or forming. Your A point, we'd use the low here of the September 16th week, that low of 1151. B point out here, let's go ahead and use the high of April 20th, 2260, and then it moves down into a low here on June the 8th at 1802. So there's our A to B equals CD. Let's go take a look at the volume as it comes through the B point. We can see it's had a stronger move on that B to that C to D leg than it did on the A to B leg. So that's very positive out there. But you can see it is completing a one-to-one A to B equals CD. So let's see if it gave us volume conviction as it came through. And voila, it did. Now, conviction, that we're taking a look at that week here. So as it came into that candle, so here's the positive. As it came into the B point, that B point from April 20th high was 2260. As it came in there, it got to 2260 on June 22nd. That was that big high volume spike that we saw. And then you came through it with a higher volume, the B point. You did it with 1.3 million shares. That was going against 1. 982,000. So you've got the confirmation. It is now completing a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD on the weekly chart, on the daily chart as well. This thing could run a bit higher. Why? Because that C to D leg is much stronger than that A to B leg. That would give you 3209 on this stock, but you got to be careful because when this thing disappoints here, where this will trade back down to is that high volume bar out there. That is on CSOD Cornerstone. And I can't see the rest of the name out here. J.C. Penney. Let's go see what J.C. Penney is doing. That is trading up here. I know that they had disappointing results, but gapping up here this morning. J.C. Penney, nothing more than a little consolidation range out here, and it's trading down below its last gap level. So I would expect J.C. Penney won't see higher than $30.02 anytime in the near future. More likely $26.74 out there. This thing's got some supply lines out here now. Let's go take a look at, let's see, what do we have in the markets here? Let's take a quick peek here. Let's go take a look at the ETF structures out here. So let's take a look at the, let's start off with whatever pops up. Let's start off with the SPYs. So let's take a look at the SPYs. The SPYs here completed a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. No, they didn't complete that. Wait a minute. Yes, they did. So the SPYs had a sorry about that. The SPYs had a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. The price point projection on that was 140.08. It completed that on the 6th of August here. So was that this week? Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, so that was on Monday. And it completed that. It did that, gave you a little shooting star. It did it on lighter volume. The volume on Monday was 85 million. That 85 million was also going into, it didn't touch, but it was going into the April 2nd area. April 2nd low was 140.36 with 151 million shares. What it did do was it also was trading inside the swing point from May the 1st. But I think when we take a look at the SPYs, you're really now benchmarking April 2nd as the area here. And that April 2nd low, 140.36. You close below 140.36. You do it on less than 151 million shares, folks, and that sets up the likelihood that the move to the upside would be over. Now, what you do see here is you do see this rising price channel that the markets have been moving in. No doubt about it. What's that set up? Sets up moving back towards the bottom, towards the lows of August. In the SPYs, you know, that would take it down probably into at least the highs, which is the 137 range by the time it would get back there. That's on the SPYs. If we take a look at volume today, 9.4 million shares the first 18 minutes of trading. That's after making a high yesterday with 90 million, the day before 89, the day before 109. And so what's on the SPYs? Let's take a look at the IWM out here. The small caps trading out right now at 79.72. The small caps have been fighting huge supply line out here from April the 10th. Trading below that, the small caps here have not even been able to get up to its most recent swing point, at least not as of yet. That swing point is July 5th out there. That low is 81.03, and I believe that still has a open gap. 89 it does. So that still has an open gap. That's the gap left between July 5th and July 6th out there. Russell 2000, you know, is the weak link out there, and the Russell 2000 will take its cues from the diamonds and the SPYs. The entire market, I believe, will take their cues from the diamonds and the SPYs, or the Dow and the S&P 500, or the ES Mini and the NQ. If we go take a look at the diamonds here, let's go see what the diamonds are doing. The diamonds not completing a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD, trading out at 130.90. However, the diamonds coming into the May 1st swing point, that had 5.4 million shares. Yesterday, what do you do? 3.5. What do you do the day before that? 3 million shares. The day before that, 3.5. So the diamond's not having enough energy to get up and over. You get a close below that May 1st swing point of 131.40. That sets up coming back into the August 2nd area. That's 127 to 129. It is still Olympic Friday, folks. We'll be right back.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Got the Dow off 62, S&P's off 6, Composite off 14, small caps down 4%, leading the charge down 0.5% right now. And if we take a look at what's going on in the under the covers here, if we look inside the Dow, you have only one stock in the green right now. You got McDonald's that is up 36 cents, and McDonald's struggling there. IBM leading the charge dollar-wise on the way down. So you got the number one weighted stock in there down $1.04. If we take a look look, let me go over here to the IBD, see what we have going on the IBD 50, the current IBD 50, and the current IBD 50 shows right now that you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 of the 50 stocks in the green, and leading on the way up is Biogen Bib, BIIB, up 46 cents, IHS Inc. and Sturm Ruger up about 30 cents to the downside here. You got Monster Beverage leading it on the way down. So nothing big there, but, down another $4. If we let's go take a look at, now on the ES Mini, what I can tell you is, and I'll punch this up on the screen here, the low of today on the ES Mini so far, which is 1392, is a really important area for you to be able to benchmark. If you're long, if that area breaks, you're going to see lower prices. Why do I say that? Well, what I'm going to do here is let's just take a look at expansions and contractions of swing points. Now, let me take that off the screen first. First, the ES Mini folks made a high out here on the, this is a 120-minute chart that I'm looking at 9:30, coming in on August the 9th. Now, the following candle at 3:30 gave you a bearish engulfing candle. You got a lower close. That said, okay, the move to the upside, I think that probably marks a peak F or so in Basil's work. And Basil's show, Basil will be up from 11 to 12, folks, and Nico, 12 to 1, Daryl Martin, 1 to 2, David White, 2 to 3, Ken Shreve 3 to 4, and Tom from 4 to 6. So you got a bearish engulfing candle up at the high out there. Now what you've got is you've got an A to B equals CD down, a 1 to 1, A to B equals CD down. That has been completed off of those highs to the low that was put in at 9:30 in the morning. As we take a look at 9:30 in the morning on the August the 9th. The C point on this is August 9th as well, the high up at 1402. So you can see this morning making a 1 to 1 A to B equals CD. But if we just take a look at expansions of swing points out here, what you're going to see is you're going to see the 1.272 expansion of that swing point on the 120-minute chart from 9:30 on August 9th to the lows that were already established this morning. That's also about a 0.786 retracement as well. So if you, with the next area here for it to move down to would be the 1.618 level. That would be 1389. So you get a break below the 1392. 1389 is the next target for you. That would also come back to the swing point at 9:30 in the morning. Everything's at 9:30 on August the 8th out there. Let's go take a look at IBM. Let's see what IBM is doing here, see if there's any volume. Of course, there hasn't been much volume either way in the markets out here, IBM. And this morning trading out at 197.34. And if we take a look at this IBM here, this came back, tested its highs. The high swing point out here was June 19th. That high was at 199.99, 3.2 million shares. Got in there with 2.3, so not too bad. 2, that was later volume. So gets in there with 2.3 with a little doji candle on August the 6th. Then on August the 7th, 3.2 million shares, and then now beginning to trade lower. IBM, if IBM, what you want to see IBM do if you're a bull, you want to see IBM reject the 196.85 level, close above it. That is July 19th. That's the last time you had any kind of volume in it. You get below that area, and what it will do is it will set a run up for the lows. Folks, thanks for being here. Tom and I will be up next with the Nadex Trading Hour. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend if I don't see you in a few minutes, and I'll see you Monday morning. Take care.